I've always dreamed of doing that. So today, you guys are probably wondering, what kind of weird-ass video is this? There's not even gonna be a gameplay in the background because, you know, I'm gonna do a bunch of diagrams instead because I'm a very, very strange kid, apparently. Today, what I want to talk about, as you guys can read from the title, what if we try to model our behaviors, you know, the way we act, the way we take decisions, into a computer, as in, like, what would be what part? What if we were a computer? It sounds pretty weird, but I've had exams for, like, the past 2 weeks, and I've been studying for a week before that, so basically, I've been obsessed with computer science for 3 weeks, because that's the only way to nail an exam. Get obsessed with whatever you have to study. So, I already have the little diagram that I did, so I'm just gonna explain it. So basically, you would have your brain. I'm going to put aside like the movements and just like body stuff. These are basically robotic arms that be controlled by the main program, which would be in there. The way we go through life is we look at information around us, whatever is happening, and then every minute of our lives is basically taking a decision, no matter how small it may be. Like today, I'm gonna decide that I'm gonna walk to school instead of taking the bus, or I decide that I'm going to wake up at this time. I decided I'm going to go talk to this person, and so on and so forth. So to take these decisions, we need to have data stored, otherwise we can't just randomly take decisions, right? So to store that data, we would have the memory, which is, you know, what we have in there, and that would be the storage, you know, your hard drives in your computer. That would be your like long-term memory, and then your short-term memory would be the RAM, basically, that you would have in your computer. So after that, you need to actually take decisions, and hopefully in life you don't randomly take decisions like that, but you still have some sort of like underlying logic to the way we take decisions and everything. So that would be the CPU taking care of that. So basically, the way in the computer, how it works is the CPU will load data, including the program itself, like the instructions, what you're trying to do. Basically, take care of the logic part. So take the data from the memory, act on it, and then store back inside memory. So basically, like actually executing the decision. That would be the CPU. And then that would be, you know, a very reductive view of human behavior. This whole video is probably going to be very reductive of humans, but you know, I'm a human, so I can say that. Then you still need to have, you know, some sort of emotions, hopefully, because we all have that. And I'm gonna use the IOs, like the peripherals, input-output of the computer to mimic emotions. So basically, the input-output would be like, imagine you have a keyboard and events outside the world or people talking to you is like pressing a button, which will change a data in the memory, you know, will register this as an event and change corresponding data in the memory location of the storage. And then the CPU will be like, oh wait, something changed right here, let me take up a bunch of like decisions again, process it in the CPU, and then be like, equals whatever emotion, negative, positive, in between, you know, all that range of emotions. And then that emotion will then be stored back again inside the memory. That way, when the CPU then goes around to try and do other stuff, it will also be able to take into account that emotion. Yeah. So to be a properly functioning human being, you need basically the memory, the IO, otherwise that means you're like completely disconnected from the world, and let's face it, we don't want that. And then some sort of like logical unit in your brain, otherwise everything you do makes no sense. Some people actually seem to lack some sort of like logical unit in there, if you see what I mean, but hopefully everyone at least has some sort of logical reasoning behind what we do. So here's a diagram. See? So basically the CPU communicates with the memory through the bus. So it takes data in the memory, acts on it, and then stores it back inside the memory, and then you have the IOs at the bottom who directly modify some crap in the memory so that the CPU can then be like, take that, I'm gonna act on it, and then, you know, I'm not gonna re-explain everything, but that's it. So yeah, that's the end of this pretty strange video. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought of it, if you have something to add to this like weird diagram I had in my mind, because I have some very weird wanderings in my life. Perhaps I'll make a V2 with you guys' suggestions. So yeah, and one last thing. If mind equals blown, then subscribe equals true, and like equals true. So, you know, if you're like, oh my god, this is so cool, like and subscribe. I'll see you all in the next video. Bye.